Hey guys, it's your boy Spicy back with another one. Today I'm going to show you 10 things that I wish I knew before I started playing PokeRogue. PokeRogue is extremely difficult and a lot of people are having trouble early on in the game, and I'm here to tell you guys a couple things that could help you out. If you're brand new to PokeRogue, this is definitely going to help you out, so stay tuned through the whole video. If you already been playing, let me know if I missed anything and let me know if you didn't know about any of these things either. And just as a disclaimer, since the game's constantly being updated, some of the information here may be inaccurate at a later date. Be sure to let me know if I need to update anything in the future. And for anyone still holding out, there will be spoilers in this video. If you end up liking the video, or if you end up liking me, please like and subscribe because it just helps me out in the long run. Anyways, let's get right into the video. The first thing I really wish I knew is that Pokerus doubles your experience in battle. This is pretty useful whenever I go on battles, and I always usually take one whenever I start an endless or classical run. The Pokemon that have Pokerus change daily, and there's always 3 that are randomly selected. To know which Pokemon have Pokerus, it's all indicated with these purple boxes that are hovering over the Pokemon in your decks. The easiest way to spread Pokerus in battle is literally just to have your Pokemon next to each other in doubles and then just have them survive during the fight. That's usually how I mostly get them across. You always can confirm who has Pokerus at the bottom of the screen. Experience is super important in PokeRogue, and it really helps you out throughout the levels, especially if you're having difficulty being over leveled by some of your opponents, especially in classical when you're behind in trainer battles, and definitely in endless when you start at endless, which is the hardest part of endless. For the next one, I wanted to let you guys know that your stat changes don't transfer over to the next biome. All your stats reset whenever your Pokemon's withdrawn, which happens every single time you switch between biomes. You can see here I try to +6 my Kyogre and transfer it over to the 1750 stage against Eternatus, and all my stats get reset. I was actually pretty upset the first time I found this out, so I wish I knew before I even started playing the game. For the people mainly playing classical, this usually happens every 10 stages, and then for people playing endless, this usually happens about every 3. This is a new update that's recently changed inside the game, so this may change later, but about every 3 floors in endless, the biome changes, and then depending on the 50th and the 10th floor, and depending on the order, it will change the biome again. One of the most useful items for any run are candy jars. For every candy jar you have, you get an additional level for each of your rare candies that your Pokemon consume. This doesn't only apply to regular rare candies, but even rarer candies, which level up all your Pokemon. Additionally, this is also how you can gain more levels once you hit the level cap for each biome. Consistent leveling is super important for every single run, so this is super important to remember. I ended up getting super lucky in my first classical run and getting 12 candy jars, and it carried me all the way to the end of the game. And it literally blew my mind the first time I found out you can over level with rare candies, and I just kept doing it ever since, so make sure you remember that one. A really fun one I didn't know was that you could gacha during your runs. At any moment, if you have a free second between your battles, you can open up the gacha section and roll for shiny eggs whenever you want. And then every egg you get from the gacha, you can actually hatch during that run, which is super useful. This one's really simple, but a lot of people really don't know that you could do this. I've been stacking all those tickets to do a 100 pull, so let me know if you want to see that. Another really silly one is that you can catch Pokemon that are out of sight. Pokemon who end up using moves like Dig or Fly disappear in one of their turns. In normal Pokemon games, you can't catch Pokemon that aren't normally in your line of sight. In PokeRogue, this is completely ignored and you can catch Pokemon that are completely invisible. I knew a couple people who didn't even know that, so that might be new to you too. Arguably, one of the best typings in the game right now is Steel and Fairy. This is because the boss Pokemon in Eternatus is Poison Dragon. In his normal form, he only knows 2 moves, Sludge Bomb and Eterna Beam, which Steel and Fairy are completely immune to. So you can throw a Pokemon out like Tinkaton and can be completely invincible against Eternatus. Apparently Eternamax knows Flamethrower, so it's good to be cautious, but I've never ran into one with Flamethrower, so I never prepare for it. I don't think this is one that's going to stick around because they're going to update Endless eventually and it's going to completely throw everything out of whack, so be prepared for that. One that saved me a ton of time is Master Balling full health boss Pokemon. If you have a Master Ball in your inventory and you end up running into a boss Pokemon that you really want to catch but don't want to go through all the health bars, you can Master Ball it at full health and it'll automatically catch it for you. Normally, if you use any other balls, it'll say that you have to weaken it first, but the Master Ball completely ignores that. I feel like that's one that people normally won't try, so hopefully that helps out some people. One of the hardest answers to find is what luck is. Whenever the item wheel shows up, you can see your luck at the top right under your money. Luck can only be improved if you have shiny Pokemon in your party, and all luck does is increase the items that get upgraded. So whenever you're tiering or whenever you roll a new set of random items, there's a chance that the Pokeball will go up a tier and get you a rarer item. This is why shiny Pokemon are super important in most runs. The highest tier I've ever gotten so far is SS, which is super hard to get. The only way I got that far was by fusing shinies together, which is another thing a lot of people don't know. If you fuse a normal Pokemon with a shiny Pokemon, that normal Pokemon will still carry the same luck number that shiny Pokemon had. And if you fuse two shiny Pokemon together, both their lucks are combined. I ended up getting level 5 luck from my Hatterking, which was a fused epic rare Hatterene and a super, oh my fucking god, I can't say this, which was my epic rare Hatterene and my rare Sea King fused together. After I found that out, I started prioritizing fusing shinies together. I started looking for higher rarities and trying my best just to get them combined together because I wanted to get maxed out luck. For my last one, I wanted to let you guys know the best way to get Gacha vouchers. If you already got most of your gym leader vouchers from completing Classic a bunch of times, the next best way is to grind out Endless. I know Endless is very mind-numbing and very long, but this is the best way to get shinies and legendaries as well. Besides completing your daily run, this is the best way to get premium and plus vouchers. This is because there's a reward on every 50 stages and a larger one on every 250. This is why you see a bunch of people grinding Endless more than anything else. I would totally recommend playing any way you want to play. If you want to grind Classic for vouchers, that's probably the best way. If you want to grind Endless for vouchers, that's probably the best way. Just choose whatever way you want to do it, because either way, you're going to be doing it for a long time. I've just gotten the most consistent vouchers from Endless, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I have one bonus tip for you guys. Since it is a little bit more controversial, I left it at the end. If you mess up a Pokemon, you can refresh your game and completely start over at the beginning of the round. People call this refreshing, or even the more intense term, save scumming. I personally use it once in a while and I'm indifferent about the term. I wouldn't recommend using it in Classic because it does take away from the roguelike experience, but if I'm in Endless and I have 4 shiny charms and I'm about to throw in 3 times shiny weekend, you can see me refreshing for sure. This is actually an included feature in the game through the settings, so I don't think it's cheating by any means, and it's kind of reminiscent from the normal games whenever you save in front of a legendary. And if you mess up the legendary, you can just reset the game. I also think it's fair just because how often you're going to have to be refreshing the game just because of the server capacity and the constant crashing. And to do it, all you have to do is refresh your browser before the next save icon. And those are 11 things I wish I knew before I started playing PokeRogue. Hopefully that helps out a ton of people. And if you have any questions, let me know inside the comments. Let me know if I missed anything as well or anything I should have included in the list, because I did miss a lot. I'm having a lot of fun playing PokeRogue, and I'm going to continue playing it on and off stream, so let me know if you guys want to see more PokeRogue content. Besides that, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.